Hello, welcome students. I am Mr. Sandeep here, and as per our GTU syllabus in the chapter number 2, that is Foundry Technology, we have been going through a brief introduction of foundry technology, different types of pattern. So in today's session, we are going to discuss on different type of allowances, right? So let us start our today's session, and our today's topic is different types of allowances, right? So as per our earlier discussion, foundry technology is also known as casting process, right? So in the casting process, your purpose is to make the cavity first, then you can pour your liquid metal, right? So here in this session, we are going to discuss on different types of pattern allowances. So first of all, what do you mean by allowance? So here I mention the simple and one interesting question for you. So for this question, we are going to discuss different types of allowances, and at last we will have an answer of this question, right? So here I mention, if your purpose of the object of if your target object dimension is 50 centimeter cube, it means if your target product is having a cube shape and dimension is 50 centimeter by 50 centimeter by 50 centimeter, what will be your pattern size, right? So in the earlier session, we have discussed a pattern definition. So pattern is nothing but it is a replica or image of the product to be produced, right? So if your purpose is 50 centimeter cube, what will be your pattern size? So this is the simple and fantastic question. So our purpose is to discuss on this question and determine the size of pattern required. So will it be exact a 50 centimeter or less than 50 centimeter or greater than 50 centimeter? So let us start discussion on different types of allowance. So it means allowance means if your target dimension of the product, targeted dimension of your casting is for example x centimeter, then your pattern is not having exactly x centimeter dimension, right? Because of some phenomena and some different types of activities, your pattern will not be exactly same in dimension as your casting, right? So here I mentioned different types of allowances that you have to consider while designing of casting and pattern. So let us start discussion on the first allowance that is mentioned here, and that is nothing but shrinkage allowance, right? So what do you mean by shrinkage allowance? So all the metals will shrink or contract in dimension during cooling and solidification. So as per our general, what happens if we pour the liquid metal in the cavity, what happens? It will come to the room temperature gradually, and during this cooling process, your material will shrink or contract or lesser in dimension, right? So your material will contract or shrink in dimension. So what happens after cooling and solidification? Your final product or casting will be lesser in dimension due to shrinkage, right? So here I mentioned the simple example. If you make the liquid metal at 1800 degrees Celsius, for example, as shown here, so iron melting point is around 1539 degrees Celsius, 1539 degrees Celsius. So here if you pour, or say if you make your liquid iron at 1800 degrees Celsius, what happens? You pour your liquid metal in the cavity. So from 1800 degrees Celsius to your point, that is 1539 degrees Celsius, there will be a liquid shrinkage. So after that there will be a latent heat part also. So in the latent heat part there will be also a shrinkage or contraction, right? So latent heat will be removed in that 1539 liquid to the 1539 solid. It is known as a latent heat part. Without any temperature change, it is known as a latent heat part as per our thermodynamic concepts. From 1539 solid to the room temperature, it is known as a solid shrinkage, right? So in all these three stages, there will be a contraction or shrinkage in dimension. It means your final product will be lesser in size as shown here, right? So it is known as a shrinkage allowance. You have to consider this allowance while designing, right? So we will discuss later on what is the significance of shrinkage allowance, but just remember, due to shrinkage your final product will be lesser in dimension. So if you target 50 centimeter, what happens? At last your final product will be less than 50 centimeter. This is not desirable. So let us discuss on second allowance that is mentioned here, and this is nothing but machining allowance. So what is concept of machining allowance? So after making any product, the surface finish of your product will not be exactly as per your application. If it means if you make any product, the outer surface will be rough, right? So for putting your product in any application, you will require a smooth surface finish. So for that you have to do the machining on the upper and side and bottom surfaces, right? So this is nothing but a machining allowance. It means if you target your 50 centimeter object, you cannot choose your pattern exactly as 50, because after making the product and after doing the surface finishing and machining, your final product will be less than your target dimension, right? So for this concept you have to consider this allowance, or say machining allowance or surface finish allowance, while designing of pattern and casting, right? So here after that allowance I mentioned the draft allowance or say taper allowance. So what is the concept for draft or taper allowance? So here I mentioned in this figure. What happens if you make your pattern with exactly vertical wall? What happens if you try to remove or withdraw your pattern as shown here? There will be a chances of sand mold damage, or say your cavity damage. So there will be a chances of collapse of your mold or cavity, right? So for easy removal of pattern, you have to give some taper or draft or inclination on vertical outer surfaces, right? So what is the purpose for this allowance? The allowance is given for easy removal of pattern as shown here, right? So this is the concept for the draft or taper allowance. After the draft and taper allowance, I mentioned the distortion or camber allowance. So what is the purpose or concept or significance of camber or distortion allowance? So what happens sometimes for U-shaped job, for example, I mentioned in this figure, if your target is to make this type of U thin section or U-shaped final casting, what happens during cooling and solidification? What happens sometimes the legs of casting will be diverged and bent like this, right? So if your target is exactly U-shaped job, and if you make the cavity U-shape, after cooling what happens? The final casting will be having a diverged leg, so your purpose will not be fulfilled, right? So due to this less section thickness, there will be a chances of bending of or buckling of your legs of casting. So what happens, or what is the solution? if you can make your pattern that is already bent inwards, after cooling and solidification, what happens? Your final casting will be exactly as per your target, right? So this is the allowance known as a camber or distortion allowance, in which already a distorted legs are given, but in the mirror side or say mirror image side. After that, your final casting will be as per your required dimension. After that, here I mentioned the shake allowance or wrapping allowance. So what is the concept of shake or wrapping allowance? So while removing of pattern, the labor or any man who can remove the pattern, what or say how can he or she can remove the pattern? I mentioned in this figure. So while removing of pattern, your labor will shake your pattern a little aside like this. After that, he or she can remove the pattern easily, right? So here this allowance is very important, and you have to consider this allowance because any man cannot remove the pattern directly. So first he has to shake the pattern little bit. After that, or losing in the cavity, you can easily remove the pattern from the cavity, right? So you have to consider this allowance for easy removal of pattern. So what happens during this shake or wrapping, your cavity will enlarge. So you have to consider this allowance for shake or wrapping allowance, right? So what is the significance for wrapping allowance? We will discuss later on in this video. So here I mentioned the different types of allowances and different effect or action required for that particular allowance. So for shrinkage allowance, your pattern will be larger because during shrinkage your final casting will be lesser in dimension, right? So here I mentioned the different action required for different types of allowances. And now coming to our question, once again I repeat our question: if your target dimension is 50 centimeter cube, what will be your pattern size? So here I mentioned, for example, if you consider three allowance, first one is the machining allowance, shake allowance and shrinkage allowance, right? So for shake allowance, what happens? Your allowance is a negative allowance because during this shake and wrapping, what happens? During this shake, your cavity will enlarge. It means if you target for 50, but during shaking, your cavity will enlarge. So you have to consider this allowance as a negative one because you have to subtract some dimension or few dimension centimeter from your target dimension, so it is a negative allowance. For shrinkage allowance, it is the positive allowance. It means during the cooling and solidification, your metal will shrink in dimension, so you have to give a positive allowance. And for the machining allowance, also you have to give some positive allowance, right? So here minus 0.5 for shake and plus 0.5 and plus 0.5 for shrinkage and machining. So 1 minus 0.5 and plus 0.5 will cancel out, and your final pattern dimension will be 50.5 centimeter. So this is only for a simple example so that we can understand the significance of allowances, right? So this is all about the different types of allowances and significance of allowance. Thank you all of you.